As a collective, we travel together, and we are inseparable, even though our stories differ from one another. The experiences we collect along our life journey may be different and unique, but we all experience happiness and sadness, joy and bliss, or anger and frustration, fear or anxiety, etc. These emotional experiences bring us closer together. Indeed, we have more in common than the sum total of our differences. In this series of From Broken Wings to Breaking Free, I will share with you my own stories. I know you will recognize yourself in some of them. We share the pains of the human condition, whether it is fear or anxiety, sadness or anger, loneliness or abandonment. It is with this conscious awareness that, in 2026, my heartfelt commitment to you is to impart the wisdom and the love that touch my heart and soul in the moments of my deepest sorrow and pain, so that you too can heal. And together we shall elevate to joy. From wherever you are, write a note in the comment below. Tell me where you are on planet Earth, and let's come closer together even more. In this way, we shall close the gap of separation, and we shall deepen the ties of humanity, the ties of sisterhood, brotherhood, yes, the invisible threads of our divinity. Today is January 14th, 2026. Here we are, at the beginning of a new cycle of 9 years. As 2025's 9-year cycle closed, I stood at the threshold of change, heart pounding like a drum, tears welling, the whole body a chapel of feeling. I felt each ache as a sacred signal, every sorrow, every scar, every quiet grief that has shaped me. In that moment, I knew, deep in my bones, that my pains are your pains. Our stories may look different on the outside, but the tenderness beneath them is the same. Sadness is real. It moves through the body, around the heart, in the ribs, in the hollow places, and it speaks to us. Its intensity varies, but its honesty does not. Tonight, I invite you to sit by my side as I share how I turned that sadness into a force for rebirth. This is the story of the phoenix rising, of choosing to honor the ashes so that new wings can take flight. Together, as sisters and brothers of spirit, we will feel, remember, and reclaim. We will grieve what must be grieved and consecrate it into wisdom, strength, and possibility. And we will welcome 2026, not as a blank year to fear, but as the beginning of a new 9-year cycle, a field of promise where we plant our intention and tend our healing with love, courage, and clear vision. Come with me. Let us celebrate what was, bless what is, and step confidently into what will be. It was Wednesday, December 31st, 2025, the last day of the year. For billions, it is a night of music, dancing, and the tight warmth of friendship as we toast an ending and welcome a beginning. For me, that date was a quiet reminder of my mother's passing. I chose to honor it differently, 4 days of silent meditation and fasting, moving gently from one year into the next in stillness. I spent the day on my meditation cushion with only green tea and water. When the bell rang, I drew breath in, held it for 3 counts, and released it for 9, over and over, deliberate and slow. As I followed the breath, something shifted. It felt as if an invisible, benevolent presence carried me downward and inward, deeper into an ocean of awareness. The best image I can give is a deep sea diver preparing with ritual care, checking the gear, securing the tank, then letting go and sinking into a new world. In a single instant, as my counting continued, my usual sense of a bounded body dissolved. My body's physical presence could no longer be located. Even my heartbeat and ordinary awareness of breathing seemed to recede. Yet paradoxically, I became the breath. The breath was not merely air moving in and out. It was a living, luminous intelligence, a subtle energy, prana, chi, that carried consciousness. From this vantage, I observed an energetic emanation where my body had been, a flow of countless, minute particles of light, each alive with love. Not the narrow kind of love tied to a person or story, but unconditional, embracing, and whole. Every particle shimmered with the full spectrum of light, and together they moved like a living snow of illumination, radiating both light and love. I felt one with that field. I was love, and love was me. It was as if my higher, soulful self had stepped forward and taken the lead from my usual ego identity. In that profound stillness, I recognized, with unambiguous clarity, the omnipresence of prana. Through conscious attention to the breath, I could feel it visiting the inner landscape of my body, touching organs, muscles, and bones, and aligning mind and heart. As breath slowed and awareness deepened, the distinction between thinking and feeling softened until mind and heart felt joined, holding hands. A warm, non-judgmental neutrality filled me, a unity like the horizon where sky and ocean merge and the question which is which stops mattering. This inward turning brought more than peace. It brought healing. A tender, glowing light flowed through my chest, and an old, sharp pain that had lodged near my left rib eased and then dissolved. Tears rose not from sorrow alone, but from recognition, gratitude for a body that functions like a wise, self-regulating machine, and for a soul that moves continuously with the breath, whether awake or asleep. Emotionally, the retreat became a clearing. Sadness, anger, fear, regret, and shame, all the dense energies we carry, surfaced and were met with the soft power of awareness and compassion. By anchoring in the breath and the pranic current, the ego self and the soul found a bridge. The ego no longer needed to lead. In that surrender, I experienced a deep, expansive love that is also a force for transformation. This was only the beginning of my 4-day silent retreat, the doorway into ongoing healing, clarity, and the renewal that welcomed 2026. Throughout my slow, conscious breathing, my attention shifted beyond each inhale and exhale into the subtle field of soul, into chi, prana, the life force moving through me. I brought my awareness fully to the breath and felt it explore every corner of my body. As my breathing softened, I noticed its touch on the inner walls of my torso, my organs, my arms, chest, belly, legs, feet, and toes. With each longer, deliberate breath, my mind quieted and something beautiful happened. Mind and heart drew close, as if taking hands. They united. They became one. A gentle, undeniable surge of love rose within me, not directed at a person or object, but pouring through my breath into the temple of my body. Held in that current of love, I felt embraced and buoyed. Tears rose to my eyes. Attending carefully and tenderly to the flow of breath revealed a profound truth. My body is a divine, intelligent masterpiece. Slowing everything down made it plain that even when life is busy, every part of this machine tends itself with wisdom I need not command. As I continued, the boundary between mind and heart dissolved. In the quiet space inside and around me, they fused. It became impossible to separate thought from feeling. In that unity, I knew warmth, non-judgment, and a gentle neutrality that had no edges. Words falter here, but the felt image was like watching sky and ocean merge until you can no longer say which is which. My body became an infinite sea and an infinite sky at once, neither more important than the other, and I rested in a state of bliss. Alongside the warmth came a soft, healing light, present and wise, never harsh. With mindful attention, it flowed into the area of my left chest where I'd been holding pain, and the ache eased until it was gone. I bore witness to this healing and understood how intimately physical relief can follow soulful attention. I felt the area of my physical pain being repaired, sensations of warmth and visions of countless particles of light floating on my left-hand chest and ribcage restore my physical well-being completely. But these 4 days of fasting and silent meditation were not intended to heal the acute pain on my chest and my rib cage. Instead, and for no specific reason, I have been feeling tremendous sadness for quite some time, to the extent that at any moment throughout the day, my eyes would well up. I would ask myself, where are these tears coming from? What could cause this sensibility? And the idea that my mother's passing several years on December 31st may cause this upsurge of my sadness during the holiday season. And as I recalled the passing of my mother, I revisited the quality of our relationship and the fact that she had stopped communicating with me for the last 7 years of her life. In fact, when she died, we had not talked for 7 years. She pushed the relationship away because I had divorced. She no longer wanted for us to talk. Other preoccupations surfaced and wrote a short list of issues that I thought might come up during the meditation, and the silent sitting would offer an opportunity to dive deeper into each issue, see them from higher and soul vintage points, learn the lessons and heal myself completely from sadness, regret, or guilt. From my floor cushion, I breathed in and out with full attention to the breath. At this point, there was no more distinction between my mind, my heart, and my body. I felt my mother's presence. She had passed away on December 31st, 2017. Her energy penetrated my entire body, and at once, I felt as if transfigured, and I experienced all the suffering she endured in her entire lifetime. I have become her in an instant and relived all the situations we shared when I was a child from her experience. For about 3 hours, I sat on the cushion floor, experiencing being my mother throughout her life as my mother and my father's wife. And for the first time, I truly understood all the sufferings she endured. My tears were flowing. I could not stop them. I did not want to stop them. I let her sufferings flow through me, and with every situation we shared, my love for her grew, and my compassion for her suffering expanded. Finally, through the power of my imagination, I held her in my arms and told her how much I love her. I told her how much I now understand the choices she had to make, and I understood why she had to make these choices. I congratulated her for her courage to have gone through these sufferings for all of her married life until her husband died. With a deep breath in, I made it possible for all the flowers on planet Earth to bloom. I created the spring season, I invoked the warmth of the sun in spring, and I gathered all the flowers on earth and offered them all to my mother. I love you for your dedication, your courage, and your endurance. I love to admire you. I love you. Emotionally, this practice moved through waves of sadness, anger, fear, regret, and shame, each one speaking through the body. With steady breath and focused presence, I learned a dependable way to unhook the charge lodged in tissue and bone. This is a story of love made brave, of grief alchemized into strength, and of forgiveness that frees, my story and ours. We are spirit siblings, sharing one tender heart beneath the beautiful variety of our lives. If you found wisdom in my story or inspiration or hope that you too can experience healing, peace, and freedom from sufferings, please join me on this elevated journey of our souls. Leave a comment